Hello, 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 hello. Alright. So, back to working on Battlespace. This is supposed to hit early access later this month, unless I get a heads up from my publisher that we need to shift things around. I haven't heard anything about that yet, but it is always a possibility. That said, let's go ahead and dive into this. As you can see, I have here a selection of logos here. Now these are AI generated, so if you're not really into that sort of thing, that's fine. We do that around here for things that I don't have the money to hire someone else for. The AI costs like $15 a month, and human beings would cost significantly more to get this quality of artwork at the pace that I need it at. So, that said, we're going to fix this up so that can save and load player's hull art. Now, I've already got the vessel name being saved. It's just a matter of piping that in. I think it already is piped in. I want to say I fixed that up earlier today in the middle of all of the getting some of the preparation work done to get the artwork tied in here. This octopus is probably one of my favorites. But there's a fair selection of artwork here. We can definitely add more later. Go ahead and get started on this. Alright, so new capital ship. Need to get the carrier art controller. Go ahead and pull that out. And we need to find the player profile manager. Now for right now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use just a basic list stored internally, stored and referenced internally, and then later down the line I will work on getting this set up for custom logos. I've got some code for that already, but we're going to do a simple implementation for right now. All textures. Red. Public void set hull graphic. Graphic index. Now see here it wants to use main text. Go ahead and delete that. Copilot's filling in some stuff automatically for me, which right now I'm kind of thankful for because my hands are still sore from doing a lot of manual labor over the weekend and basically Thursday all the way into Saturday, late Saturday, and some of Sunday morning. So Copilot wants to use main text. However, that may not necessarily be what is on the shader, because this isn't just a normal shader. This is surface inputs for an HDRP decal shader. Here's what we want to do. Hit select shader, base color map is what we're looking for. Base color map underscore base color map. That basically sets us up so that we can access that base color map parameter through the hull graphic.setTexture method. Now we need to come over here to where it says Player Profile Manager. Close this up. This is where we are setting our player profile. We'll need to worry about that too. Also need to worry about save player data. Excuse me. We don't actually need to worry about save player data. We need to worry about create new player. This is what we need to worry about. So we need to display these images in two different places. And I want to see if maybe I can use... I want to see if I can use the same list, because I don't want to like recreate a bunch of these textures. I want to say I can use a raw image and use it in the Unity interface for this. So let's go over to our game view, pull up the controls canvas, profile selection, profile creation screen. Alright. We're going to adjust some of the stuff on this. Don't think that's quite what we want. We'll move our backboard down. Time being, I'm gonna have to change that. I just don't like the way that's set up. I'll worry about it later. Alright, so what we want to do here, we've got our backboard, we've got our vessel name, captain name, vessel name. Let's move thought I had my gizmos off, but I guess not. We're gonna move this down. Portrait. Portrait label. Right. This over here. We do want these to be slightly different, so we want to do a raw image. Yep, because we can use a texture 2D here. Whole art. Stick this in here for the time being. Oop. And I actually want, let's see here. Because I kind of want an outline around this. What I'm going to do here is add image, paste, go. 95. Okay. Five. $295. Five. All right. So, what I want to do next is we want to bring some buttons over here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want the original portrait box buttons to stay up here. Excuse me. Set that there. That there. Cycle. Graphic. Back. Cycle graphic forward. Alright, so what we need to do here is we need to add, got our player name, new player vessel. Let's do public raw image whole graphic. And we'll do a non-public integer, call it graphic. When we're saving creating the player data, got our sort of like initialization step here, but then we also have a save step that basically happens immediately after that. Now, here we're basically setting everything and then we're saving the data. Now, there's a true indicator on here. New player. Make sure I'm not missing something here. Go if player leave this in here because that's not going to change much. If new player is equal to new, we're actually going to move this. Let's excuse me. Let's see here. X for data dot add player vessel graphic. Graphic index dot toString. That's going to do is it's going to excuse me, it's going to save the player's graphic index, like whatever is set inside of the window here, or this window here, whatever is set in there, we're going to basically set it up so that when we create the player, we're going to set that and save it. Default to 0. And what we want to do here is here we're loading those sprites from the resources, but what we really want to do here is, let's see here, wait, welcome menu. I don't think we have a welcome menu. Maybe we do. I think I have one, but there's like nothing in it. Alright, so cycle graphic void, excuse me, public void cycle graphic left, public void cycle graphic right. And essentially what we want to do here is all graphic dot texture equals carrier art controller dot instance dot all graphic index. What did I name that over here? Whole texture. Here we go. But whole textures. Graphic index equals graphic index 01. Whole textures dot length. That should get us everything, I think. Similar story here, only if we're higher than the maximum value we want to reset to 0 and then set the texture. By default we're sitting at 0 though. Because we're doing all of this with the graphic index. When we go to save the player, we're going to save the graphic indexes there, that. When we set the player's profile, we're also going to have to set the graphic index. Graphic index equals getString player vessel graphic. we've got the cycle graphic. Go ahead and set this up so that current vessel name equals graphic index equals, but we don't really need to mess with that. Not that I can think of just yet. But when we set the player, that player profile, setting our graphic index here, then when we come down here, what we need to do is carrier art controller set carrier graphic. But where you want to change this to set whole graphic. Pretty simple implementation. It's all basically been code so far. Whole graphic label. Whole graphic. Cycle graphic left. Cycle graphic right. Right, and I need to manually edit my player files down here. Also need to make sure that when we save the player profile, save the player data, current player location, by default it's set to Frontiers Reach, and then should be getting it also want to 7 references, but none of them are in this script, or none of them are outside of the script. Right, so what we want to do here, alter player data. Warp controller. This is basically what's animating the entire warp artwork around the player. Hello, Jimmy J. What I need to do here is I need to player profile manager dot instance dot alter player data current location Frontiers Reach. Change that to player's location. I could probably just go ahead and switch this out with current location. Rather than doing that every single time, we'll just do it right here. Go ahead and close that out. Go to our new capital ship. We actually need to load all of these in here. We're going to load them in the exact order that they are listed here. Save. All right. Go ahead and fire it up. I also have a settings button in here. I will actually have to move this around a little bit because this isn't a bad spot, it's just not the best spot. So let's go ahead and just make a new player. Captain Krusty of here. Object reference not. Oh, I know exactly what that is. Give me a second here. Because I forgot to do this. Raw image. I forgot to set the raw image here. Let's see if I can get this working then. Not the first time I've done this. There we go. Alright. Captain Krusty. Heavy Metal Queen. Yeah, it's gonna have to move. Might be able to make some room for it up here. I need to get a zoom working on this thing. I just haven't done it yet. Captain Krusty, commander of the Heavy Metal Queen. But yeah, now that we've got some like graphical details on here beyond just the paint job, which is supposed to look good from a distance, I'm gonna have to put a zoom in here. Oh. Points of interest. Fire away. Alright. So that is that. Now, while I've got time here, I think I'm gonna go ahead and... There's something else I need to work on. Let's see here. One of the things that I need to work on is... see if I can remember exactly what it was. Let's go ahead and check that save mechanic, that location save mechanic, see if that's working properly. Got a profile that would be perfect for that. Jump on over to Jotun. Sure, call for fire. Do volley fire. I think that's the right one. Fire missions is kind of like a tic-tac-toe slash rock paper scissors thing. Come in here and select the right one, and you get all the points. If you select one that's kind of the right one, you get half of the points. You select the wrong one outright, you get none of the points. That's looking like this looks accurate. Go ahead and out of that, check our player. We are at Jotun. Alright, let's load it back up. And there we are, back at Jotun. Oh yeah, we also have icons in here now. So like when you deploy the fleet, that turns yellow to let you know that it's deployed. I don't have this saved up yet. I will say that. So this is still very much a work in progress as far as saving the data here with the deployment time. That's functioning. Go ahead and make sure we get this set up properly, because I forgot to put this in here last time. And I want to move this button around. That bottom right hand corner is not going to be appropriate. Let's go ahead and turn this off and turn this off. I want to be able to see this layout here more than anything right now. Thinking what I might just do is get rid of that settings board and I'll put it in the top side controls. Settings button. $25 and $25. Well, let's do 75, 75, 565. 5 and 55. Just a little bit smaller. This is the one? Yep. Balloons label. Turn the tech tree and profile selection back on, because we need that to be turned on. I know what I wanted to do now, so remember what I wanted to do now. We have in the player profile, we have these things called campaign tokens. This basically tells us at what point in the campaign or what steps in the campaign the player has completed. We've got FR 100 complete, 60 complete, 20 complete, Jotun arrival, Jotun 20 complete. What I need to do in here, I need to set up, and I'm probably not going to get too deep into this tonight. I've only got 15 minutes left on my hour-long stream session here. What I will probably end up doing is tying in, because I can actually just turn this off for the time being. What I will probably end up doing is I'll tie in each of these buttons and their respective panels with a campaign token that lets us know, has the player opened this panel for the first time? That way when you open these panels for the first time, the system will look at what tokens you have and say, oh, well, you don't have a campaign token for this tutorial step, so we're going to go ahead and play the tutorial audio for you so that you'll get a little bit of introduction into what that panel is all about. So probably not going to work on that tonight because that'll be a little bit lengthy. That'll probably be a great thing to work on for next dev stream, if I don't end up doing that tomorrow. I will probably end up doing it tomorrow because it'll probably be longer than what a dev stream can really accommodate. So yeah, but holographic artwork is now integrated, so that's pretty cool. This up one more time, double check. see here. Enter captain name. Captain Pariah, which is actually a word meaning nobody wants you around, kind of. That's okay. Then enter vessel name. Fortune's favor. Save. Have arrived at Frontier's Reach. Welcome to the Warfront, Captain. Yeah, there's all the introductory stuff, and then you would go through here and select all the different panels. Some of this, like logistics, fires, and intel, that will remain locked until you unlock that section of the ship through the engineering panel. Generally speaking, the first thing you want to do is come over here to eWar. Basically start building out your microsat network. Comm relays reduce the fighter deployment time, so like when you send fighters out, you'll get a reduction in the number of seconds it takes to complete a mission. Decoy targets, I want to say they, like, I know what it says here, reducing damage taken by fighters on deployment by 0% and allies by 0%. I think there's something else that it does on the back end that's not exactly transparent about. Jamming enemy comms, increasing war momentum gains. Increasing war momentum gains. So like when you complete a task that would normally reward you war momentum, you'll get a boost there to those war momentum gains, and then hacking uplinks just give you raw doubloons. Your eWar sat network, microsatellite network, is pretty important. How you basically generate a lot of passive income when you first start out. Let's send a fighter patrol out. There's the fighters. They're gonna do their thing. Now I do have enough in here that we can actually start. We can unlock one of these areas first. Cargo bay, radar, or LiDAR. I may change this to fires and intel, because there's more here than just the radar. Or I may add a different title to that better explains what it is we're looking at. Incident report. The Republic has attained victory over the Soul Confederacy in a battle of significant importance. Plus 2.25% war momentum. So random incidents can happen, and when they happen, you will either get something or you will lose something. Or you'll have the option to choose between a couple of different options, and you may or may not get something or lose something. eWar sats are deployed. We're basically at maximum right now, so we're going to come back here and we're going to, let's go ahead and open up the fire controls. There's something else that's not exactly talked about immediately, but when you unlock the radar, you get access to more of these little contacts down here that you can click on. Same thing when you unlock the LiDAR. When you unlock that, you also get more of those contacts, and you actually get a higher priority. So Target of opportunity. Incoming fire mission request from the surface of Frontier's Reach. Friendly forces have spotted an enemy convoy moving through the area, requesting immediate fire mission to destroy the convoy. Deploy fire mission. I actually need to update the engineering panel so it's better reflective of what you unlock nowadays. Go ahead and unlock LiDAR. 2,000 doubloons have been awarded to us for achieving a direct hit. So Intel is pretty passive. It will basically just sit here and generate an Intel report until they have something, and then it will report back to you, hey, we've got this Intel report for you to look at. Fighters are coming back. Now, fighters can take damage when they're out on mission, and if they take damage, they'll have to basically sit and repair until they're full up, and then they can go back out. Go ahead and unlock the cargo bay. Unlocking this first node unlocks everything else for us to have access to. Logistics. We have one constructor constructing logistics drones. We're deploying supplies to the surface of the planet. Plus 1,000. Incoming communications request from General Fairweather, Captain. This is, at certain points in your war momentum, you'll get priority assignments from the Battlespace commander down on the planet. Reward 5,000, but it's 496 seconds. We're going to go ahead and accept that. And so that we can keep things rolling here, I'm actually going to unlock another wing. That while one wing is out, we can have another wing active and doing things. But this is a bomber wing, so they can only go out on bomber missions, or missions that require a bomber. Updates every 60 seconds. Same thing here. Alright, we've got a medical supplies request. Let's go ahead and fulfill that one. 240. Refueling operations. Flights in the area requesting fuel. We will equip fuel tanks and refueling booms to our bombers and send them to assist. Let's go ahead and do that. Bombers are now on mission. I'm going to test something here. Ignore that, and I'm going to shut this off. Come over here. Want to look at... Alright, check this out. This is one of the new things that's being saved. Fighter Wing Alpha is on priority assignment for 5,000. Time remaining 382. So what this is, we're now saving your flight's data. So when you send a flight out, That data gets saved here and test it. I tested it earlier with one flight. Test it with multiple flights now. Yep, there it is. Your flight's data is now being saved. Hangar deployed. Pretty awesome. I'm pretty satisfied with the week's progress. We've got hull logos, we've got flights being saved, we've got planetary locations being saved. I'm pretty stoked. We even have a settings menu in here. Pretty stoked. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream here. Been a pretty productive week on this. Lots of little things wrapped up and included into the build. I think we're actually in a really good spot for launching this thing into early access later this month. If I have to push it back though, we'll see. And when that time comes, it'll come. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll catch you on Thursday.